Good morning, world, and welcome to episode 67 of Tuesday Morning Quarterbacks, where your co hosts Jay and Cody meet you at the intersection of humor and sports expertise. If you're a new listener, welcome aboard. And if you're a loyal listener, welcome back to another week of your favorite podcast. Um, April 22nd.
hmm Happy Easter. I hope everyone enjoyed their Easter.
hmm
Um, First off, Cody, listeners, you can find us on X at TMQBs. You can find us on TikTok at Tuesday, spelt out, and then MQBS. That's at Tuesday, MQBS. And then on Spotify and YouTube, just search Tuesday Morning Quarterbacks. Will pop right up. Uh, we got a big show as always.
hmm
It's a big week. This is a big week for football fans, and
There's so much going on in the sports world right now, really. You can get pulled in all different directions.
that's right. But football's king,
hmm
and Cody, I know my season ended in January, a little bit after yours, but your season ended in January. We're almost in May, brother. We're
hmm
almost at the halfway point. Everyone gets to get a little excited this week. You gonna be tuned in Thursday night, brother, to watch who y'all take at 8?
Yes. What city are they in? Do you know
Detroit, I
that?
believe.
Detroit. Um,
No, that sounds wrong.
it sounds recent.
Yeah, I think they had it in Detroit.
Okay. Um, yeah, I'll be tuned in, man. I felt like I was ready for the draft before the Super Bowl was even played this year because uh being a Panthers fan, my season ended a little earlier than everyone else's. Um, but we ended on such a positive note, man. So while you may not have been ready for the draft until February or maybe even March, I've been ready for a while. And I'm excited, man. We got a new GM, so that's just another reason. Dan Morgan has completely taken the reins now. So, this is his first draft, I think. I hope I'm not
Well,
messing that up, but I think it's his first draft as the GM. Um, so
and you got a first round pick this year, Cody. Well, you had one last year, but you had to come back in and get it.
yeah, we had to trade for it. I'm excited, man. I don't know who we're gonna take. Um, I just, I hope for positions. We've talked about it before. I'd love to see something added on to the defense. Um, D line, secondary, we really can't go wrong if we pick a good defensive player. Um, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what we do. When are your boys picking?
For the first time in my life, I think this is the highest they've picked in my life. They're picking 29. The draft's at Lambeau Field, Cody, by the way.
Oh. That's a cool
Um,
draft.
I have no clue. I will stay up and watch. They probably won't pick till midnight. I could see them trading back. And I'd stay up that whole time for pretty much nothing. But I enjoy watching the breakdown of pretty much everyone that's picked, dude. It's fun. I'll have it on. My favorite day is I love the third day where you got rounds. Now it's 4, 5, 6, 7, but you just leave it on while you're doing your whatever you're doing around the house, man. And come check back in, see when you're picking. You see the little ticker. You're 8 picks away, um, and you get to see who you're bringing in. Most of those kids ain't really going to contribute those day 3 picks, but uh, all I'm asking from this draft is one Hall of Famer.
Mhm.
Ain't too much to ask for, if you ask me, especially with the amount of Hall of Famers, the lack of Hall of Famers we've drafted in my lifetime. So it's time for the shit to start evening out. So I'm expecting I'm expecting us to go defensive line or and that's either edge or interior, and then I expect I could see them going offensive line too, just getting deeper
hmm
on that. Um, I expect them to draft a running back at some point on day 2 or day 3 because Brian Robinson is not the guy, Cody. In case you're wondering,
Oh, I know. He was on my fantasy team, so I had to watch him last year, and
yeah,
it's very apparent.
I think this will be his last year in Washington. Fresh legs, fresh young legs. You know how the running backs are. You should be taking a running back practically every year in day 3, if you ask me. But I think
A
that's
new
the
one in there.
deepest position. Everyone's saying, from what I hear, that this draft is a lot worse than like they're saying pick 5 isn't much or no, pick 5 isn't much different than like pick 35. There's a lot of
They don't know. Nobody
yeah,
knows.
yeah, yeah. You're
I'm
right,
not
Cody.
buying that for a second, man.
I
My
think
Hall of Famer's out there somewhere, just like yours is too.
yeah, but
Go get
they're
them.
not. I don't think they're in the first round. I think
No,
they're later, Cody.
might be in the
They're
third round, might be in the fifth round. You never know.
Do you so you don't have any names circled, right? Because I don't have any names circled at
I
all.
don't have any names circled, man. I've seen so many like mock drafts and names thrown in the hat, and I just try to go into it with it. Picking eight, like it's hard to predict eight. If you're like top three or four, I think you
Hmm.
can, but then the deeper you get, the more you things change, man. Trades,
I
teams
want to.
do stupid stuff that you'd never expect. Um, so
I, I want like a blockbuster deal to happen where like it's a player, an active player, not like a picks galore, like a big time player gets sent somewhere in the middle of the draft. I want something like
yeah,
that to go down. I want it to be very unpredictable,
have
and
everyone
everyone's just
freaking out.
like everyone, no one like this guy. They just picked this dude. I got him as my 50th best player. He just went 12th.
Yeah.
I want stuff like that going down. Um, I'm excited though, man. It's just going to scratch the itch a little bit, and then it's like you're scratching something that you shouldn't be scratching. Though, you know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
maybe that boil's going to burst when you itch it, and then it's just going to give you more
You're gonna
blisters. You know what I'm saying?
you're gonna be excited for a few days after the draft, and then you're gonna kind of have to forget about football again for a little bit longer. Um,
Yeah,
but it's a
I was
nice day to have.
I was really, last year we picked Jaden Daniels, so rookie minicamp was pretty exciting just because you get to see him throw. But this year, rookie minicamp will not be anything exciting. All right, this
I
might
try
be
not to even pay attention during like rookie mini camp and all. I try because like as soon as I start focusing in on it, it feels slower after that. So a lot of times early in the preseason, I'll still try to pretend it's not here yet. To me, that helps the time pass.
the next checkpoint on our off season after the draft is the schedule release. It isn't rookie minicamp because getting that schedule, you get to start
That's your
marking W's and L's on there.
you got your
Um,
record all picked out.
uh-huh,
Never
correct.
once have I predicted a losing record upon schedule release.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Why should you? What, you
I
going
do.
to go out there and lose?
Yeah. You should not have that mentality. I do have a correction from earlier. This is Dan Morgan's second draft. I knew it didn't sound right when I said it.
His
And his,
first round pick though. Well,
well,
second,
he
but
traded
really
up
first.
for Xavier Legette last year, which ended up that's
Doesn't
not
count.
looking good. Yeah. And then Jonathan Brooks, he took him in the second round, also not looking. not looking too good. But Jalen Coker, undrafted free agent,
People
wide
forget.
receiver too. Yep.
I got a stupid question. I don't even know if you'll know the answer because it's kind of dumb. Are your vets allowed to come to rookie minicamp? Or are they not? Like, I know they're not, you're not asking them to, but could they come in the
I
building
don't
and say,
know.
let me work out with y'all boys, show you
I'm,
all the ropes a little bit?
I'm
Because
sure
I
they
want some
could.
vets in there if it's allowed.
I'm sure they could, but I think they're above it. You know?
Yeah. Off season for them, huh?
Yeah.
Uh, Cam Ward's going number one. Everyone knows that. I'm go ahead and call him a bust, Cody. In case
Okay.
anyone's wondering,
Okay.
I'm not a fan of his nonchalantness on the field.
He's way too casual. Way
I,
too casual.
I do like his path coming. I think he played at like a Division 1 AA school before getting to Washington State, so he kind of got it out the mud. But I just don't like when you're nonchalant, man. It makes me think you're
Too,
gonna get injured.
too
That's like the number
nonchalant.
one thing I'm thinking when I see someone doing some of the things he does is you take a
When
play
he
for
takes
granted,
his
you end up
time,
hurt.
when he takes his time running out of bounds, like starts
Mhm.
like that ain't gonna fly the next level. You're gonna get your bell rung.
He
Um,
watches too much Patrick Mahomes, man. You know
yeah,
how he tries to
he
get
he
them
ain't
to
gonna
hit
get the
him.
Mahomes treatment right
That
off the
that's
bat.
earned. That's
Yeah.
earned out here in the big leagues.
Mhm.
You got anything you want else? You like the movie Draft Day, Cody?
Have I
Kevin
seen it?
Costner.
I don't know that I've seen it.
I like it. Well, some people don't. They say it's stupid because it wouldn't happen in real football, but it's a movie. It's get out your comfort zone a little.
I think
But
the last time the Panthers picked eight, I got Christian McCaffrey.
yep, that's right.
I want to be that right again with
Yeah,
our number eight pick this year.
get you another Hall of Famer at 8, and this
Yes.
time let's keep him.
I,
Keep
I
him
want,
forever.
yes, but I want him to be probably a pass rusher. Like I want maybe the next Julius Peppers. Is that's probably asking for too much. But
No, it's not, dude.
yeah, that's what I want. I want the next Julius Peppers. Please. Thank you.
All right. I don't know. I just want a Hall of Famer. If I could pick the position, oh man, corner.
Yeah,
A
that'd be a good
cornerback,
one
a
too.
lockdown corner,
That was
which
my second choice.
we I know we got some cornerbacks on the team, but I don't know, man. I feel like we need more. Marshawn Lattimore, a
Old,
lot of question marks coming in.
old.
We got to see him get healthy. This is only year 7, but what's it called? Father Time comes
Hmm.
fast in this league, brother. Father Time
Especially
will
for
get
especially
he'll
for
get
that position.
mm. uh moving on.
Hmm.
We're going to talk about what went on in Colorado this past week. Dion announced that Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders will have their numbers retired from Colorado after a 4-8 season and I believe a 6-7 season. It makes sense to me for Travis, Cody, because he won the Heisman,
Hmm.
but Shedeur doesn't deserve it.
Um,
Not even a little bit.
yeah, I don't know what like the all-time stats at Colorado look like. I'm not gonna take the time out of my day to check those out. But he only played there for 2 years. Um, Travis only played there for 2 years, and they didn't accomplish much for the team.
Nothing for
Uh,
the team.
yeah. So and And I don't like Shedeur personally because I don't like the way he treats his teammates and throws his offensive line out to dry in front of the media. So I'll get on board with this that um, he should not have his jersey retired. I get the Heisman winner. I'm kind of with you on that. If you win the Heisman at a school like that,
Hmm.
you know, they're probably never going to have another Heisman winner ever. Um, so you kind of have to retire that one, I think.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say I don't like Shadur just because I think he's tough. He got hit a lot, but you can't, like you said, you can't talk bad about your O line, which he did.
Mm-mm.
We talked about that on the podcast when he did it. And Tim Tebow's jersey isn't retired at Florida, Cody. He won back to back well, was it back to back or was it two out of three? I don't know. But he two national championships, he won a Heisman. And I don't think anyone's worn 15, but normally people don't get their number retired a year after they leave,
It's too
regardless.
soon. It is too soon. Yeah, you're right on that because that type of thing's supposed to take a while, you know,
It's
10
supposed to take at
years.
least a decade, I think. Like no
Yeah.
one, people normally know when like you, c- someone at Colorado shouldn't suit up as 12 next year, Travis Hunter's number, but you should give it 10 years and then you retire it or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, I
Spot
know
on.
I know a lot of high schools retire professionals' numbers once they make, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But college, I don't think they retire. Like if you go become a Hall of Famer in the NFL, but you had like I don't know, if you had Mitch Trubisky's career at UNC and then you became a Hall of Famer, do you get your number retired because of what you did in the NFL?
I don't think so. Not
I
in
don't think
college
so either. And
because colleges like have UNC has Julius Peppers,
mhm.
they've got people that are much cooler than Mitch Drew, like that were good in college.
Well, it's practically pretty much like retiring Mitch Trubisky's number. When you retired Shedeur Sanders, he had one good
Mhm.
year, or something. It's just silly. It wouldn't have happened if Dion's not his dad, and I think
Correct.
Dion knows it would have never happened. That's why it's happening
That's why it's
right
happening now because
while he's there.
Dion is gone,
Yeah,
gone like the wind.
I'm giving him.
He's
How long are you giving him before he leaves Colorado? He's going to be there this year. I think this is his last
It's
year
got
there.
to be his last year. There's no way he sticks around any longer.
I do think. I wonder where. I'm calling Shedeur to the Saints, which is good news for you, Cody.
You think he's also a bust?
Yeah, I think that's the main reason people say this draft class isn't as good as last year, is just because the quarterbacks aren't as good as last year. All it's just two that are expected to go in the first, maybe three.
I'm more
When we,
scared of Shadur than I am Cam Ward, I think.
me too, me too.
Uh, I do think Cam Ward, well, Cam Ward isn't as mobile as Shadur. Um,
I think he might be more but Shedeur isn't mobile.
yeah, but Cam Ward's slow, dude. He runs like don't quote me on this, but he runs like a 4.8.
I bet
Um,
Shedeur is a five, dude. He can't run. He won't run at all in the NFL.
maybe neither of them will run then. I
Yeah, I
thought
don't
Shadur
think
was
they
a little
will.
faster. E-
Mm-mm.
Either way, let me tell you something about the Saints since you brought him up, brother. Alvin Kamara's house is for sale in New Orleans.
I
So,
didn't know.
yep,
Where's he off to? He's probably going to go ring chasing. That's what I'd do if I were him.
good riddance. That's best news I've heard all week.
I get that, brother.
Hmm.
Um, I could see him going Buffalo. Go to Buffalo.
I could root for him there. I'd be
Yeah,
happy to root for him there. Anywhere
yeah,
but anywhere but the NFC South.
makes sense.
Yeah. Um.
Um, we're we're gonna move on from these Colorado fellas that got their numbers retired and we're going to take a step away from our sports talk for a little bit, Cody. And we're going to forewarn people we're going to be talking about The Last of Us season 2,
Spoilers.
episode 2. If you ain't seen it, I'd skip ahead about 10 minutes. And I'm looking at the clock right now. If we're still talking about it in 10 minutes, I'll cut us
Right.
off.
Yeah. We're
So
throwing not a disclaimer out there. So
I do think it's going to take 10 minutes to talk about this mess, man. If you don't want to hear it, you can fast forward anyway if you're not into the show. Um, Cody, a bomb was dropped on us last night in this show.
this, yeah, man. We were talking about it. I watched it before you. I wanted to see your reaction. It was really hard for me not to like. I was trying my best not to give it away.
You
Um,
did good.
but this was I did not see it coming. I'll just say it, man. I thought Joel was with us for the long haul. Um, the last time I think I felt this way, like that surprise was like some of the Game of Thrones deaths because they would kill characters you'd never imagine them killing off. But Joel was like the main character to me. He was my favorite character. And now new people are gonna have to take his place. But should we just run down the whole episode, or do you have any specific things you want to touch on?
Uh, the main thing is Joel being gone. I want you to know I was shocked and I was genuinely upset. Uh, my jaw was dropped. It
Mhm.
was and I was just holding my face because I was like, he's really gone. Like he was as soon as she put that thing in
Golf
his
club.
neck, uh,
Mm.
it was over with. Was it a
When it was
golf club?
showing us, yeah, the head was broken off. Because she
Okay,
was beating him with it earlier.
I thought it was something on fire.
When it showed us from like Ellie's POV looking at Joel and him like trying to get up and then her like foot stepping into the frame, I paused it and I was like, please, like no, like I can't take it. And God, man, it's a tough death. Really tough death.
Those people are stupid for not killing those two girls too. Um, I hate that the
Yeah.
person that got them, like not killing Ellie and Dina, because you got to wipe
Yeah.
them both out. You don't leave
Because
somebody with that much vengeance in their heart after you.
Ellie's
Uh,
coming for blood, dude. And Dina will go with her, I bet.
yeah, I I don't know how we can. These zombies are like unreal zombies. I don't know how you can beat them at all.
Yes.
By the
There
way, as they
there's
broke into camp. We
yeah,
need bigger walls. You need about 4 wall. I don't know what to do, man.
and my question is like, how did they all get there? Like, there's so many of them right there. Like, are they communicating with each other and being like, we're going, because it seemed like they were all frozen under the ice, and that girl who is now the villain that killed Joel woke him up. Joel saved her life, man. That also makes it super frustrating.
Mhm.
Joel saved her life, and then she brought him back and killed him. But I mean the defenses that they had set up in town were pretty impressive. When they dumped the barrels and then
Yeah.
shot holes in them, they're full of gasoline, and then they caused those explosions and lit them all on fire. I was like, that was pretty. That took out a lot of them. Um, so I'm glad the village held. I'm assuming Tommy's brother has got to be heavily involved in the show now, right?
To Tommy, is that
Yeah.
his name?
Yeah, sorry, Tommy.
Yeah.
Joel's brother.
That's what man, when he had to use a whole flame like the whole tank of the thrower on that beast of a zombie, I was like, how are we supposed to do anything? Like y'all are making these things too
How are we supposed to win?
tough. I I
That
think
thing was a freak,
video
dude.
game was like that though, man. It was very hard video game. I never played it. I watched people. I like to watch people play some video games.
More
Um,
than I like playing them. I'm the same way.
sometimes, yeah. Um, I just I'm a little and I went to X immediately after I finished the episode, and I saw people saying they were comparing it to Ned, like you said, Ned Stark, or Game of Thrones death. They compared it to Ned Stark's death and how shocked they were. And someone was like, the only difference in Ned Stark's death, there were other people in the show that I was already attached to other than Ned. The only person in this show I was really attached to was Joel, not even
It's a
Ellie.
it's a great way of putting it. It's a
So,
great way of putting it.
but it is how it went in the video game. This is what happened. So, uh,
Do you know what happened in the video game all the way through? Or you
no,
just saw that?
I just
Yeah.
saw that.
Mm.
I saw that was the way. That's what the next reply was. They said, "Well, this is what happened." And but the the chick in the game, she was a beast. I don't think she was a real human like I don't know this girl.
Mm.
Um, I hate who got Joel, man. As pimp as Joel was, going killing
Mhm.
everybody all the time. The who gets him is this chick who I don't know.
Her friends know she's
Fell in her
psycho.
lap.
Like they
Yeah.
should have stopped her.
They
They
don't
all
even
wanted to stop her.
they don't wanna be with her.
No.
I did the best part was because I was getting tired of her lecturing Joel too, and he was like, "Well, could you just shut the
Do it
F up
already.
and do it
Yeah.
already?" That was funny. I laughed at that because that
Yeah.
but this show, dude, it it's good.
At
It
least
it
they didn't at least they didn't kill Ellie too, dude.
Yeah,
It,
I don't
I
what do
don't
you
know
think?
why they didn't, but well, here's another thing I was thinking about, man, is like I feel like Joel could have I don't think that girl was reasonable, but I feel like Joel could have tried to explain his reasoning for killing everyone in there, but I don't think he wanted to give away that Ellie
Ellie
was
was
immune.
immune,
Yeah.
and I don't think he wanted to beg either, and he
He
probably was
wasn't
ready to go in that miserable life they live there, man.
I don't I think he was there's no way Joel was gonna beg,
Mm. I thought Ellie was gonna come in there and,
kill
lay down
everyone.
some yeah,
Yeah.
I wish she would have been a little more ready when she, got into the room, but
Yeah, she got stopped almost immediately. But that was realistic, at
yeah,
least
yeah.
5-on-1. But uh, I was just shocked at how fast this whole thing escalated, dude. I thought those people trying to kill Joel was going to be like the season finale.
Uh-huh.
This took
That's what
no time. I'm happy with how fast it moved because this took no time.
I agree, dude.
But
That's how unpredictable it was, and unless you knew already how it goes in the video game, this show's sick. It,
HBO,
it
sorry,
I was just gonna say it does. I do wish I had somebody to cling to a little bit, but it's still it's still great. I knew from season one. Don't get attached to anybody because they'll give you introduce somebody in the show, and then the next episode they're dead or they turn. They get bit.
Joel's
So,
daughter died episode 1.
and you remember that kid that couldn't talk,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that was like it was so sad, dude. They'll rip your heart out in this. Like it's intense. It's the I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it. It's just it sucks it went that way, but it's also great television.
We can tell you what though, HBO owes us like soon some new characters that we're supposed to really like.
It's gonna have to be Tommy, right?
Tommy,
Tommy
but
and his
like I
wife.
feel like we're gonna have new ones introduced to the show that we don't know yet because let's be honest. I think next episode is going to be Ellie and maybe Dina and maybe Tommy being like we're going after these people, and I think we're going to make friends on the road.
I think we gotta rebuild at where we're at before anything, though. But Ellie ain't
There's
gonna want to
Ellie
wait.
ain't doing that. Ellie,
What's
yeah.
the guy's name that was out there with Ellie that got separated, and you can see him riding up?
Oh, Dina's ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know his name. I hope he comes too, though. I like him.
yeah.
I
Him.
like his style.
It's him. Tommy. Tommy's wife, I think, is gonna be big time. But also they're gonna kill some of these people too. Like they're all these people ain't making it through season two.
No, we're gonna have to meet more. But every show that kills a lot of people does that. You meet new characters. Um,
Everybody but Ellie. Ellie can't die, dude. She's immune.
well, she can't
She's
die right
literally
now
not
because it'd be like, what's the point of the who? She's
yeah,
now the main character, and there's no other characters with big enough role to carry the show. I don't think so.
yeah. Uh, That's that's 10 minutes, Cody.
Yeah,
I
we'll
don't
we'll stay
wanna
true to our promise.
yeah. Um
Show's electric, man.
yeah, I can't wait for
Absolutely
Sunday.
electric. Do you know there's only 7 episodes this season?
No, man, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I caught that one. Sucks
So it
to hear,
won't get us
doesn't it?
to June. Well, I guess it'll get us to the end of May.
I'll tell you something else. I called a spoiler on X last night.
I did too.
I wonder if it's the same one. We'll never know because I'm not telling you.
Yeah, I don't like spoilers, man. I know some people don't mind them. I like being, I like that whole rip your heart out, stomp on it like I got last night. That's what good shows are supposed to do.
I'm off. I'm off X right now. I deleted it off my phone when I saw
Mm.
the spoiler. So,
Mm. Okay,
uh, just because, like,
it's fair, man.
yeah, like you can mute all the words you want to. You can still see it. And sometimes you could just be aimlessly browsing and see it. So I'm probably till the show's over. X is off my phone.
Was your spoiler about old girl that got her guy?
Yes,
That's the one. I think we
we
got
might
the
have
same one.
we might have seen the same
But then
spoiler.
this show also altered a good bit of stuff in
Yeah,
season one, correct? Like there's stuff.
yeah. And
I
I'm
feel like
also hoping the spoiler I saw was just someone just messing.
yeah, yeah, little tomfoolery.
Uh-huh.
Um, we're gonna move on to the playoffs we got going on these days. We're in the middle of the NHL NBA playoffs, Cody.
Hmm.
Um, NHL. Just so you know, you brought this up pre-show. We're gonna talk about it now because NHL they got the same schedule, Cody. Every time around, they play every other day.
They play the same amount of games in the regular season.
But
They play a more physical sport.
but
Like
in the NBA, they how many days off they get in between home games? Game one and
two.
two.
So the Lakers played on Saturday. The Lakers and T Wolves played on Saturday. They have Sunday off. They have Monday off, and they're playing again on Tuesday in the same city. They didn't go anywhere. And that's part of why these playoffs take so long, dude. I don't understand it. Hockey's playing every other night. I get if you get 2 days off in between cities, that would make sense. I don't even know if hockey's doing that though. It's
No, they play every other
ridiculous.
night, even when they go to the new city. Man, like when they have to travel, I'm pretty sure they still only get 1 day off. They're just tougher, man, and the NBA is not tougher. They
No, no. It's That's why I don't even, I haven't watched any basketball this round. Probably not going to. Um, but it just says everything about the NBA. I came across it today and I was just like, yep, that checks out. That's why they're going to be playing basketball in mid-June.
Yeah, I didn't watch any NBA playoffs. I watched the last 3 minutes of regulation of a play-in game, I think. Well, kind of
Mhm.
listened to it with my eyes closed, and and then I kind of keep up with it on my phone a little bit though, like check it throughout the day who won on ESPN. I do know the best series, if you do want to cut it on, is the Nuggets and Clippers.
Hmm.
Um, did
They're
you know?
close
Did you
game at
know?
half right now.
Yeah, they went OT game one.
Mm.
And then something else I didn't know about the NBA is how good Cade Cunningham is, dude.
I've
He's
heard of
pretty.
him.
He went to Oklahoma State, first overall pick, I think 3 or 4 years ago,
Mhm.
and he just gives you 27, 8, and 7 every night as a point guard.
Oh,
But I think I want to watch a little Pistons basketball if I can get the chance. Um, yeah, but we're just gonna keep on, I guess, pretending to follow this NBA playoff.
yeah.
Now
Well,
NHL, I did watch the Canes take
I
down the
did too.
Devils. I watched the
Mhm.
third period. That's all I watched was the third. Um, maybe this is the year, man.
Maybe it was weird because the Canes ended the regular season like not on a great run, but maybe I don't know. You know what they say in hockey, man? You just get a hot goalie. Who
That's
knows
what
what
they
can
say,
happen?
Cody. Hot
Yeah,
goalie.
yeah.
Canes
Gets
got
you hot.
what are the Canes like extremely good at? They got to be extremely good at something. Is it defense? Is it
Well,
offense?
I'll tell you what they're not good at.
On power plays, that's what it is. I've
They are
seen it.
they are the second best penalty kill in the NHL, either
Oh,
first or second. And the Devils team they're playing is the other one. One of
mm,
them's one, one of them's two. Um, what the Hurricanes are bad at and were very bad at in the postseason last year is their own power plays. Um, and they're who'd they lose to? Was it the I think it was the
Rangers.
New York Rangers that they lost to last year in the playoffs. They got outscored by the Rangers on their own power plays during that series. I think it was 2-1.
Shorthanded goals can't happen, Cody.
Can't, no, not in the
I know.
playoffs. So,
I don't know much about the sport. I know that.
and I heard the commentator on the game the other day say the Hurricanes lineup is not built for power plays. They don't have the creators. I don't know entirely what that means, but it checks out with what I saw last year in the playoffs. And so I think if the Hurricanes can just play 5-on-5 hockey, sure, even go on power plays. Just don't let shorthanded goals happen when you're on power plays.
Yeah, maybe they should not allow themselves to get power plays.
That's what I'm
Deny the
thinking.
power plays when they get them, but the other teams can go on power plays because they're going
Yes.
to kill it.
I think if the other team has a player go in the penalty box, we should just send one of our own in the penalty box. Just play
Bingo.
4-on-4. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Um, Caps won tonight.
We should talk about the conferences in the NHL. Have we talked about this before?
You talking
How
about?
they like the playoff breakout, right? Because it's weird, but you have an East and a West. And in the
Mhm.
East, for example, you've got the Atlantic and you got the Metropolitan. And the Metropolitan has the Caps and the Hurricanes and the New Jersey Devils. I think they're the Devils, right? Yes. That all made the playoffs only three out of the Metropolitan, but then five out of the Atlantic made it. But the Montreal Canadiens are from the Atlantic and they were put in the Metropolitan bracket
of the
and then
Eastern Conference.
of the Eastern Conference. And there's two of each seed, 1 through 4.
Yeah.
And so Montreal is the 4 seed in the Metropolitan sub conference. It makes my head hurt.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
like talking about this.
I just don't understand why they don't take the whole conference and seed it 1 through 8.
Yeah, dude, kind of like NBA, I guess.
Yeah, and like I mean that's what the NFL does too. You have your well, it's a little different with the divisions, and
Yeah.
division leaders, but um I think they should just take it by conference because it gets confusing and like I don't even I don't understand it.
Yeah,
It's making my head hurt.
I got it pulled up and I was listening to you talk and trying to follow it, and I don't really know. We forgot to pick winners though, man. We forgot to pick an
Oh,
Eastern
oh.
Conference winner, a Western Conference winner, and then our Stanley Cup champions.
We can do that now.
Yeah, please, please. Western Conference first. Who
Western
you got?
Conference. I'm hmm, okay.
I got mine. I got mine, Cody.
Go ahead if you're ready. I'm just doing a little quick
Um,
research.
I'm going to. Well, rule number one: Canadian team is not going to hoist the cup. It ain't happened in over 30 years.
Okay, so we're eliminating the Winnipeg Jets and the Edmonton Oilers
Yes.
at
Well, they can
least.
get there. They just can't win it. Like the Oilers
Okay.
got there last year. They lost in seven.
Okay.
Uh, I'm going to take a team that's not playing yet. The Blues, the four-seeded Blues, to come out the West.
Okay. You're taking the Blues. All
Hmm.
right. Um, I'm gonna take the I'm gonna take the Avs. They're playing
Well,
right now.
since Winnipeg leads the Blues 2-0 in games, can I change my pick, Cody?
Yes. Yes, you can. Yes, you. I was gonna pick the Dallas Stars, and then I saw Colorado was up 1-0 in the series, so I picked the Avs instead.
I'm switching to the Vegas.
The Golden Knights.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I like that. That's
Uh,
smart. Smart play. Um, let's go to the East. I don't I'm not gonna pick the Hurricanes because if they get there, I'm right anyway because I'm
yeah.
pulling for them. Um, mm,
I'm, I'm going to pick the Caps, and I'm going to take the Caps to beat the Knights just because of Ovi's year. This is his year, I guess. Yeah, Capitals over the Golden Knights.
okay. All right. I'm gonna take the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah, that's who I wanted to pick, but
Yeah.
the experience, brother.
Mhm.
Been there, done that. They're a dynasty,
Yeah.
and they're back in the dance.
They know what it takes.
That's right.
Mhm.
All right, brother. We'll check back in on the NHL NBA playoffs. Hopefully, probably won't be watching it honestly with the draft going on, but maybe Sunday and maybe during the week a little bit. I will check in on those Canes tomorrow.
Yeah,
Probably
I'll be on them too. I'll be on
probably
them.
check on the Caps too. Uh, Yeah. On to football. More football. UFL, baby.
Mm,
Showboats fell to 0-4. Your DC Defenders slipped up for. Did they lose that game? They
did
lost
lose
that.
that game, and I think it's a good thing that they lost.
Yes, I agree
Stay
with you.
locked in. You get that first one out of the way. You don't have the undefeated season like worry. You're not worried about that anymore. You're just playing ball now.
I think you got the best quarterback in the league, and I think that dude could play in the NFL. Do you think that or
I
no?
haven't watched enough of it to comment on that. Um,
Uh,
but
I thought last
I did have
year,
the game on while I was cooking. I think it is the same guy,
yeah,
but
Jordan Tiamu.
yeah, but I don't remember it from last season.
I feel like a lot of it's hard for people to move the ball, and every time I see him, it's like they're comfortable with him dropping back to pass, and I feel like most teams aren't comfortable with their quarterback in this league.
Yeah, I think
Um,
we fell to an 0-3 ball club.
yes, you did the Brahmas, San Antonio Brahmas.
Mhm.
Um, During this game, the main thing that stood out, which I do, the best thing about this league is all the tinkering they do with the rules
It's
for the
awesome.
NFL to watch and then decide what they want to pull from it, like the dynamic kickoff. We've
Hmm.
switched to. Um, there's a rule that I noticed watching the game, which is called the Super Challenge, which is you could There was a play. It was 3rd and 10, and the Brahmas ran for 10 yards, picked it up. Defenders used their super challenge to say the right tackle false started. So they're trying to get a penalty on the play. It wasn't a false start, but the player ended up a yard short, so it was actually 4th and 1. So they didn't lose the challenge, even though they got what they challenged wrong.
Ooh, I don't agree with that.
I don't either.
You didn't challenge that.
No, you didn't.
If you don't challenge that, it shouldn't be reviewable.
I think they review everything once you challenge a play, though.
I don't like that.
I don't like it in general. So there's times in the NFL something egregious happens. You shouldn't have to challenge something that's egregious. It should
No.
just be fixed.
You should have a flag that you can throw out there and say you're wrong, and if I'm wrong, you can shoot me in the head.
Yeah,
But it's not. I'm not risking a challenge. So you
yeah,
know what I mean.
yeah. I don't. It The super challenge thing. I don't know how it works. I don't know how many they get. But it looked a little silly to me how they could use it to try to get flags thrown. But I don't know, man. What do you think? Do you like being to challenge something to cause a penalty on a team? I just don't like more laundry on the field. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
it's going to slow the game down if you're going to review everything.
I'm sure the Saints wish they had a super challenge in the playoffs a few years ago. But
Circa 2018, I believe.
yeah, something like that. But bad things happen to bad people, so that's what you can chalk that up to. Um, I don't I don't mind the super challenge, but pre-snap penalties I think shouldn't be challenged. Like I can see if I mean let me reverse that. I think pre-snap penalties are fine. Sorry. But like if you're challenging like PI on a I don't know, a ball that like a 50-50 ball thrown up between a wide receiver and a DB and they're throwing hands at each other just playing the ball, a little contact like you shouldn't be able to challenge stuff like that, I don't think. Things like that are mm, played in real time and reviewed slowly. So but pre-snap, I'm fine with if it's something egregious like offsides or like a bad false start. But if it's I just don't know what the threshold is, right? Because if someone's just barely false starts, I don't think you should be able to review that. But like, it's hard. It seems like you're either going to be able to do it or you can't. So
Yeah,
if I had to choose between those, I would say I don't want you being able to do that.
yeah. It seems like some of it will be something way out of the play too. Like the play happens, and they're like, "Let's challenge this over here," where it looks like he might have tugged on our boy's jersey, and we might be able to get a hold on it. So let's throw the super challenge, even though it had nothing to do with the play. Uh, I don't know, but like we said, in this league, it is the time to try absolutely everything.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to fault it too much. Um, it this league is what it is. So you, it's going to die out, I think, pretty soon. But I guess being able to tinker with all this stuff does have its advantage.
I can tell you what I do like that they're doing the player cams. Those are cool. Those are
Yeah.
really cool on occasion for replays, especially if the quarterback had one and you could see what he's seeing when he throws the ball. I think a lot of people would be surprised at how much less the quarterback can see when he throws it than we can see when we're watching on TV.
Uh-huh.
Um, but what I like even more than that are the referee cams. Um, I tell you what, Jay, it's 2025. Police officers have to wear body cams to justify their actions. I want referees wearing cameras to justify theirs. I want I want the line judge to have a body cam, or no, I want it on his forehead so you can tell
Mhm.
exactly where he's looking when some of this stuff gets missed. Uh, I and we can use it to hold him accountable. I want this implemented in the NFL.
Can
AS,
these can these UFL refs make it to the bigs, man? Are they trying out too?
I think so.
I hope so. Because I want
Maybe they
these
could
refs
show their
need to be
tape.
on short leashes everywhere, man. I'm
Yes.
talking in the show, on Sundays, on
Mhm.
Saturdays, and especially uh, in college basketball. You know how I hope people know how we feel about referees. They need to be held accountable, just like everybody needs to be held accountable, man.
Yeah.
They
More so. It's more important for them to be held accountable
they get
than
away
most
with
other people.
everything, man.
Yeah.
Scot free with practically murder in some cases. It could be compared, uh, probably not as
The
murder,
things
but it
they do to
feels like
people,
murder.
the things, yeah, that I'm sure, I'm sure they've caused a murder or two.
Yeah, probably in New Orleans that weekend back in 2018.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, they're especially college basketball, man. Those I feel like they're not even regulated. Like college basketball is the wild west for referees. It's crazy. Like every fan that pays a little bit of attention can probably name you two or three refs that are like, notorious for just being awful and
Mm-hmm.
making it about
Bless you. Bless you. Yeah, Cody,
yeah.
they're not held accountable, and they know they're never going to be held accountable in college basketball, so they just act a fool with no repercussions. I don't know. I just want good refs, man. That's all I want. Take them out the game as much as possible, but also call the game fair.
All we can
Call it.
ask for is a fair game, man. A fair game.
Did you see this past week there was some baseball player disagreed with the pitch and he tapped his helmet jokingly because you know how in spring training they could challenge pitches and
Hmm.
ump got a little upset about that because he was showing them up, I guess.
Yeah.
And he didn't eject him or anything, but it was a ball that was called a strike. Do
Hmm.
you like that, by the way? Do you think they'll implement that? Challenging strikes and balls
I
and
think
strikes?
that's hard there
Well,
because there's so many pitches.
they gave him 2 in the I think you could do it up to 2 times until you're if you're wrong, maybe you keep it going. I think it should be up to maybe 3 or 4, but if you get
Hmm.
all of them right, you should keep it going until you miss one. Or maybe you just keep it going until you miss 2 of them. 2 like double elimination, you don't get any more challenges on pitches, you know?
If there's only one or two, I'm cool with it. 100%, I'm cool with it.
Yeah. How many misses uh, ump normally I think the average we looked at it was like 93% of the calls are normally correct.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, they're not missing but so much, but big time pitch in a big situation when it happens, tap that head. Let's get this right call because you get the bat taken out of your hand in a big situation in a game.
Yeah.
It
Late in
is
the game, runners in scoring position.
very
Um,
tough.
there's a page on Twitter that like grades umpires with an algorithm, and then they factor in like the situations and like an estimated effect it had on the game. Um, it's kind of
I know
cool.
what you're talking about.
Um, a couple other things happened in baseball um over the weekend.
Yeah.
Neither of them good. Um, the O's, Jay, it's happened again to the O's. What was the final on this one?
24-2 against Cincinnati.
Isn't it crazy how this can just happen out of nowhere in baseball? Was it the
Well, they
Rangers that beat you so bad, like 30-3?
30, yeah, that was back in the dark days, though, man.
Mm-hmm.
This it, this year, though, I mean, it feels like every other game it's an 8 or 9 spot being put up on this team. I looked up. They do have the worst ERA in baseball, probably mainly because of the 24-run game. There were 25
Mm-hmm.
hits by the Reds, by the way. Um,
Gosh. Mm.
we don't
Mm.
have. I don't. I haven't watched the game still. Just I don't know how. I haven't put much effort in it, but starting pitching ain't there. I'm guessing. I don't think they're going to be in the. There's time. They're 9-12, but when you can't get people out, it's hard to stay in games, especially against good teams. And I I don't know. Maybe they'll figure something out. They need to get some arms though. Window ain't open, brother. Window was never open, is what it feels like, because
You
they
don't
never
think
won.
so? You're already ready to declare that?
Not until they get some pitching, man. And I know they got a new owner last year, so maybe this owner will pay the players. I don't know. I think he's from Baltimore and got or Maryland at least, so has some ties around there for actually loves the team, doesn't just own it. So maybe
Mm.
he'll pay the players, but I'm guessing they're going to end up somewhere else, and
I
they
mean,
don't got the pitching to win
there's
this
no
year.
s- there's no salary cap. Why aren't
Yeah,
why aren't owners in baseball spending all of their money to keep the players?
I don't know. Some do. Mr. Steinbrenner, is that his name?
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Or
Dodgers do it.
whoever owns the Dodgers. Yeah. It works out well for those teams, Jay.
Yeah, it does, man.
Yeah.
They
Some teams like the New York Mets can't seem to figure it out how regardless of how much money they spend
you could
though.
give them all the money, it wouldn't matter.
Nope.
Um,
Oh,
I got something else on the O's real quick
okay.
because they're young studs. Adley Rutschman, Gunnar Henderson, Jordan Westberg. Those are the main three.
Hmm.
Jordan Westberg, All Star last year. Adley Rutschman, all three of them All Stars last year. Adley Rutschman's batting 208. Westberg's batting 194. Uh, Gunnar Henderson 228. Jackson Holiday 220. Not a single one batting over 228. Uh,
I blame the hitting coach.
yeah, there for things to be as bad as they feel right now,
Hmm.
and I haven't watched the game. To be 9-12, it ain't too bad, I guess. You're
Hmm.
still 3 games below 500, and there's still this is a long, long season.
Hmm.
But when when you see how everyone's just getting shelled, I don't know how you can expect anything to be turning around.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna get but so many arms trading. You might get one or two.
And if you don't have a decent staff, to complement any big arms you trade for, it's almost not even worth trading the assets right now, you know?
Yeah, that's what they. I know their bullpen, Cano, Yanir Cano, and Felix Batista. I think he's pitching again. He was our closer 2 or 3 years ago. Was really good. One of
Hmm.
the best in baseball. I don't know how they're doing, but it seems like we can't even get to them. So I don't know. I don't know, man. Uh, give it. We, let's get to the All Star break at 500 or
Hmm.
3 games below 500. We'll go from there.
Work
Let's
your
see.
way there. It's it's early, brother. It's early, and I think the Braves are a great example of potentially why you should overreact early. Um, they're 9-13. They've won four in a row. Most importantly, their two divisional series, they split with the Marlins, and they beat the Phillies. They took the series. So,
Mm,
despite being below 500, we we
above
are
500
we're
in the.
above 500 in the division, and we're on a 4 game winning streak. It's very early, man. It's very early. Never know
Yeah.
what could happen. Um, Last thing I wanted to say about baseball, unless you have something else. Over the weekend, um, Shohei Ohtani missed a game due to the birth of his child.
I didn't know
Um,
he
yep,
he was
he has a wife.
expecting.
Yeah,
Okay.
they had a child, and I just wanted to point out um, there's someone out there who didn't spend the weekend with their family, and that is his translator who's rotting away in prison for 4 more years, um,
For
doing
biting
time for
the
what
bullet.
Shohei did.
Yeah.
Yep. So, best best friend ever, that guy, I guess.
Yeah. Hope hope his family is taken care of.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
would hope so.
um, and I hope he's being taken care of in prison, man.
Yeah.
Um,
Shohei
but
should
yeah,
be sending money to him in prison, making sure he's getting as good a treatment as possible. Um, I mean, the ultimate fall guy. I can't wait for the 30 for 30 on this one. Uh,
uh,
in about 15 years, 15
yeah,
20 years, when someone finally admits what actually happened here.
and Shohei doesn't. He deferred all his money though, right, Cody? He doesn't get it till later, until he's practically retired. Correct?
I
How did he
think
do
he
it?
deferred a lot of it. I don't know how the exact breakout.
Yeah, maybe he's making. Maybe he's waiting until the dude gets out of prison, then he can give him money. I don't know. I'm
Uh,
happy you said that because you're right. I didn't like you bringing his name up, but I'm happy where we brought it
to justice.
into justice.
Yeah.
Um, well, we got one thing left to do, man.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
What's on your mind?
Yeah, you wanna lead us off today with this one, Jay?
Yeah,
All
mainly
right.
because I've had it all week, man.
Oh yeah.
You see me coming around now until probably October, probably
Mhm.
mid October. My dogs are gonna be out, man. I'm wearing shoes with no socks. I'm wearing flip flops, slides, or my Birkenstocks that I got. I don't care if you don't like it. You're gonna be
Mhm.
looking at my toes. I think I got pretty toes, but the main thing is I don't like socks. It's I like my feet out, and somebody said you got your dogs out, and I said yeah, they're gonna be out, man. I
Mm.
I don't I like feeling free, and I like my toes feeling free. So I don't know if how you feel. I know you're not. You normally don't really wear. You're a big tennis shoe guy. I'm just not. Um, I'm gonna be rocking flops from now until it gets even when it's a little chillier outside, man. I can still rock the flops. I'll rock the flops with sweatpants if I need to. That's the bottom line. I'm excited though that I don't need. It's a little more acceptable for the dogs to be out, and as soon as that happens, they're out.
Well, the beautiful thing is, Jay, regardless of what anyone thinks about it in this country, you can do whatever you want with your feet. You can put them in shoes, you can put them in flip-flops, you can put them in nothing and walk around barefoot.
I'm not gonna walk around barefoot. I'm not gonna. I'm not that weird, man.
Because you've
But
seen Die
I'm
Hard.
not. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Mac Hollins. We've talked about him and his feet. I'm just gonna be in flops.
Yeah,
But
it's I
if
don't
I
f-
was in a
it's cool
situation
that
like
he does that, I guess, but like I'd want some protection.
in a situation like Die Hard, would you rather have flops or would you rather just be barefoot? Because if you get stuff in your flops like glass, there ain't no coming back, and that's gonna get in there in that situation that he was in. You know.
Feel like you would still probably rather have flops, but you may if like you had to sprint, you may run out of them.
hmm You got to be gripping on with your toes.
I think once you kill that first terrorist, well, and that's what he did. He tried to take his shoes, and the guy had small feet. That's right.
That's right.
But you gotta look for shoes. That's what you do. Um,
Dogs
great.
out, man. That's
Yeah,
me. That's on my mind.
summertime.
Um, you got anything for us? I know I was a little
I
quick
do.
there. I didn't,
No,
it
I
wasn't
do.
much.
Yeah, I was trying to think of something I had on my mind earlier. I lost it, but I got something else, so it's okay. Um, earthquakes.
Mm.
You've felt them before, right?
Yeah, I felt them.
I've I I felt my second one this week. For all the listeners, don't worry, I'm okay. I'm fine. I feel like earthquakes aren't that serious.
Well,
I
how
feel
far were you from it?
I was like in the I was in the epicenter of it.
Oh, what was its magnitude, or is that, or what was it on the Richter
I
scale?
think it was a 5.9.
Yeah, that's a pretty. That's like the average one I think you'll feel out
Yeah.
there. Yeah, but I'm with you. Like one of the times, I didn't even realize it, but I could see like hangers just barely swaying, and it was it. It kind of felt like you were rocking on a ship maybe for a little bit,
Huh.
and that was it. I don't know what you. I think it's got to be something drastic, but most of them are harmless. I would say. I'd say like 95% are feel
Okay.
harmless.
Because it was I mean it was shaking. The house shook for like 5 seconds and it was over. And it wasn't like I don't know, man. I guess you'd always imagine it to be crazy, you know. But now I'm ranking I'm ranking hurricanes at the top of my natural disasters, and then twisters.
Yeah.
Uh, I think earthquakes are at the bottom. I think they're at the bottom.
Yeah, you're right.
They're
I
below a
think
tsunami. Tsunami, who I don't know, tsunami or a twister. I'm not sure, or a hurricane. Um,
tsunami is, I think tsunami comes from an earthquake happening.
it can. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I think
They can
Twister's
come
above a
together.
hurricane, man.
Twisters, if they get you, you don't want to
Like
get
if
got
you
by a
just
twister.
if all of a sudden some you see that just drop down next to you and there ain't nowhere to go. Because there was a bad storm and I had to pull over. Like you couldn't drive. It's
Hmm.
windy. Everything's blowing. And if a
Hmm.
twister came through and just picked the car up, it's gone. But a
Yeah.
hurricane, you got a little time until
Hmm.
you normally are
You
told to
got some
evacuate.
notice. Yeah, that is
Now,
true.
that's the only reason I think, but hurricane being in the middle of a hurricane rather than going through the middle of a twister, if you can hunker down, I'd probably rather take the twister.
'Cause
I don't know.
it's over quicker, but you're right. You can avoid a hurricane because you know about it.
Hmm.
Twister's a little different story.
Earthquake is at the bottom regardless, man.
Yeah, bottom. Um,
I feel like we're missing one.
I feel like we're missing a natural disaster too. Um, but I can't think of it. So maybe
Dust
we're not.
storm?
No,
That ain't one.
I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to come out.
Wildfires.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's
Um,
terrifying. But
that's
I've never
scary.
been around any waterfront
Yeah.
wildfires.
I'm not trying to say I don't respect earthquakes because I'm sure a bad one in the middle of a city could be really bad.
Hmm.
But like your average earthquake is nowhere close to your average hurricane,
Hmm.
in my opinion.
Tornado.
That's all.
You're right,
Yeah,
man.
or twister.
Mm.
But that's all I got on that, brother.
Yeah, you stay on your toes though with those earthquakes.
Hmm.
And I
I'll be
don't.
monitoring them.
What do you do? And what are you told to do? Shelter in place or something and during an earthquake?
My sweet mother told me that I should go outside in case the building collapses. But I mean, which I will listen because I listen to my mother. But it happened so quick. I tried to go outside, um, just because my dog was out there, but it was over by the time I was outside. It was very
Did
fast.
you feel it?
Yeah, she was looking at me. She was like, "What's going on?" And
Mm.
I was like, "It's an earthquake." And I
I
only
haven't.
knew it so fast because I got an alert on my phone, which was crazy. Like as it was happening, I got an alert on my phone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you think we had tornado drills and stuff. Do they have earthquake drills
I
for
haven't
the
heard of I
youth?
haven't I haven't heard of any.
Fire,
Have you?
fire drill. No, I haven't. There were never any hurricane drills either. I'm guessing you don't go to school on hurricane day.
Yes. Yes, not. But you got other drills for some other
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
Well, I think that's it, brother.
We got any questions?
Not that I saw.
I couldn't check. Um
Oh, I
I
got you. Hold on. I'm almost
yeah.
positive we don't. I would
Listeners,
like.
any day now, come
No,
on
no
back.
questions today. We're almost on a month-long dry spell.
Yeah.
Not quite though.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get one.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Mm.
We've done it again though.
We have done it again. We are consistent. You can set your watch to us. You can count on us. we will be here.
Mm.
Um,
Everybody enjoy the NFL draft.
mm-hmm,
Enjoy your week. Um, get caught up on The Last of Us if you're not,
mm-hmm.
because you need to.
Time to get with it.
I don't like spoiling stuff, but I like talking about it.
Yeah, we will, and we will be.
That's right.
All right, listeners. Until next week.
Same time.